Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be where you are. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We're going to try a take two on this. Bear with me here, I'm turning the muse. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Hang on. You'll get it right eventually. Sorry about that pause. I know there's words otherwise for it, but my apologies there. Some things going on here that wasn't ready for, and now, well, am. So, again, welcome into Flying with Mike. We've done an airplane swap, hoping that was truly the cause. Spain Air, Spawn Air, I guess, not Spain, because I've been misspelling it all day long. Doggone it. Is going to be the aircraft that takes us down. Now, the A321 from ToLiss. All right. First attempt today, about 2 or 3 hours ago, ended in a crash to desktop as we were ready to taxi. I'm checking all of my services here and hoping for the best. Hang on. A little bit out of breath. I don't know why I'm getting that way here lately, other than the fact I'm old. All right, so there we go. That one's set up, following on the route. Okay, we'll brief this real quick, and then we're going to get going, folks. Got about 2.5 hour flight ahead of us, and I hope you all really do enjoy it. We are flying from Seville. Don't you see Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd over there fighting over the barbershop? Barbershop of Seville? I know, some of you all may have never heard of that. Great cartoon. But anyway, we're in Seville, Spain, getting ready to, and I learned this today, compliments of flying there, Tenerife, Spain. I did not know those islands were part of Spain. Just blew my mind away when I was going through in the setup earlier, actually, yeah, earlier today, or maybe the part of last weekend, getting things together, and I went, Spain? I didn't know that. So, yeah, we all learned something new, even these old dogs approaching 60 years of age. So, I hope y'all enjoy. Livianova. I don't know if I recognized you yesterday or not, but thank you for the follow. We sure appreciate it. Today, hopefully, we'll actually make it. Take two, like I said. Now, we went through this once, and it ended up being another X-plane issue with the updates. I really haven't heard any of that, so let's do it, shall we? Let's bring up a Sim Toolkit. And you can see I just filed. I'm going to double check we're actually on the map here beforehand. That was the wrong thing to do always. We certainly are. All right, obviously at the time of day, we're looking at a pretty quiet departure with VATSIM. So, now that was the only issue different than our 12-hour marathon the day before. Yesterday, we did not fly on VATSIM, so the issue might be flight factor, but it might be flight factor combined with X-plane, or X-pilot or VATSIM. Excuse me. All right, so different plane. We actually got more people booked. 175 people are aboard, 9,600 pounds of cargo. That brought our payload now to 40,250 pounds. Block and fuel at 22,440 pounds. All well and good. Now, the passengers, yes, maybe not the payload because we may not have that specifically right. I aim for the zero fuel weight, and yes, we're close. Fuel-wise, we're always going to be heavier than that. It's just the way the loader works in ToLiss. Works in increments of 200s. So to get it right at that number, and I got a feeling it might be the same way in the real world. I don't know. Never did that job. Who knows? We're going to take off on runway 27 here in Seville and land on 25 in Tenerife. Y'all see the route. And 27 for our cost of index, and 35,000. Now I can hear some of you scratching your head going, I know Tenerife. Why do I know that name? Well, folks, it's the site of the most biggest air disaster in history. Think I said that right. I was trying to figure the words. I love the words I used in the first attempt. This incident at Tenerife back in the 70s, I believe Pan Am and KLM were the culprits. Folks, it's a huge disaster when a 747 is involved. Okay. Flat out, y'all can agree when that aircraft gets involved in an accident of any kind, it's a major, 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 major deal. There's a lot of people on board. This incident had two 747s. 500, I'm going to say 550, but over 500 people lost their lives here at Tenerife. Now, hold on. We're not going to that Tenerife airport. It's still actually open and still actually encounters the same conditions that caused that crash so many years ago. We're going to Tenerife South, where those conditions are not as prevalent. Okay. This is, well, quite frankly, this was a huge debacle of epic proportions, considering two 747s came together on the runway. So read up. I'm not getting into it. If we might talk if I start seeing some chat going on about this airport. But yeah, just know this is the biggest air disaster in history that occurred here. There have been a lot that get that moniker, but nothing tops this one yet. We do have things out there like A380s. So hopefully the world will never see something that disastrous. Like I said, any aircraft goes down, it's a major deal. A 747 means a lot of lives lost. Now, there aren't many 747s left in passenger service. Lufthansa's the only one that comes to mind. Maybe British Airways and Air Frog, but I don't think Air France flies them anymore in passenger service. They may with some kind of cargo. So the chances are a lot less, and possibly KLM might still fly some, but folks, they are not as prevalent as they used to be. So anyway, that's what's on the plate today. This is a destination of the month flight for Millennium Aviation, and it's going to be fun to fly out of Seville to Tenerife South. Weather, KVAC, looks that way. It's Spain. Very rarely rains in the plains of Spain. When it does, oh my. 19 degrees out there, which is 66 degrees, 15 on the dew point. Down at its counterpart, Tenerife. We're looking at winds out of the northwest at 2, 71 degrees, and a comfortable dew point. So folks, a beautiful day to fly. Let's get after it, shall we? We are ready to go in just about every facet. Flight plans in. We're on VATSIM, and we're ready to go. One thing I did not know from this morning's or this afternoon's attempt. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go ahead and release the Kraken. Oh, sorry, wrong stream. Now we're going to get rid of the baggage loaders and get ready. What I did not notice this morning, and it took me just doing a quick glance at Google before going on air. There they go. We're not going to push back. I was wondering why the jetway was so far away, and now I know. Let's go ahead, pull that as well. Get the door closed. All right. So as we watch the jetway pull away, notice we're going to just pull ahead a little bit and make the arc out like turboprops do. And then make our way over here to 27 for our takeoff. You know what? That jetway doesn't swing far enough away. We're going to take a pushback.
Ground to copy. Please show me where you want to go.
And this is why, folks, it is such a better pushback than what you get default. Oh, darn it. All right, what am I doing wrong? Hang on.
Ground to copy. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to copy. Tower is driving up.
All right, sorry about that, folks. Brain farts. All right, let me double check. We are off. Okay, off. And you know what? Let's go ahead, pull chocks. All right, so for the startup, we're going to hit the beacon. Okay, we're gonna come down, landing gear levers down, 3 green, switching levers facing 12 o'clock, we're good. We'll move the transponder to exponder, and our engine masters are off, and
ready to connect.
clear to connect, face us north. And we'll turn it to ignition start when we're ready to go. Lock our door. And it is closed. All right, we're ready to go, folks.
Start connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Just making sure, folks, we are hopefully this time gonna make it.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, so here we go, folks. Like I said, I did most of this just before coming online, so that way we could get this stream going. Here comes the Manny. Welcome aboard, sir. Hope you have a wonderful day, evening. All right, we're going to go ahead, commence engine start. This time, number 2 first. I'm just waking up. Awesome. All right. So we are in the pushback right now of what should be about a 2.5 hour flight. That makes me say, let's put that up there. All right, right now at about 2 hours, we'll see how we go. Engines lighting off. Again, runway 27 is the animal we plan to take off on today. Sorry, folks, if I've missed anything. That is because my app was updating on... back the truck up. There we go. I had my phone in update mode and couldn't see not everything. All right, now we got a better view.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Selecting tow. Stand by.
Looks like we're stable, going for engine 1. The only bummer here, the sound set that we have in the Flight Factor, unfortunately does not work here. Plus it's set up for CFM where we have the IAE, and yeah. So we have to deal with that. Now I am using a slightly different checklist, so bear with me. I'm using one that actually comes.
Bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
And thank you, better pushback again. Folks, free pushback, that is dynamite. We gave you just a small smidgen of what this thing can do. Okay, and boom, there's our pins. Cool. And how are we looking here? Looks like we're avail. I'm gonna go ahead, start the timer then. 3 minutes. All right, after start, parking brake. Set. Engine mode back to normal. Arm the spoilers. Flaps, we're going 2, right? Testing you all. Okay, up to the top. Reindeer fly. Okay, the bleed's off. We'll go ahead and kill the APU and nav display is as we want. Both sides. Terrain radars now on. As is weather radar. Auto brake. Maximum. Spoilers, transponder, doors locked, flight controls. All right. All right, so we need to be up 4. And while we're at it, might as well check them. Now, the one thing I was looking forward to showing you in Flight Factor, I really hope ToLiss finds a way to incorporate. It's nothing major, folks. I just love the fact that I can start my taxi, and on the tiller, you see that button right there under the neck of it. If you push that down, you can operate your foot pedals without turning the plane. So, kind of a neat thing. All right. Now, this aircraft is different than Flight Factor. As you can see, we still got the same menu here. Auto brake is set. Signs are on. Spoilers and flaps are set or armed. How do we do the cabin? We do not have that feature over here. Very simple, folks. While I actually kind of like that Flight Factor feature where we set the lights and can hit, you know, cabin ready and all, here all you got to do, hit the button. We're all set to go, do the test, and we're free to taxi. Uh-oh. Oil temperatures are still coming up. We can taxi, we can't technically take off. Parking brake off, weather radars are on, rudder trim set, transponder, we might as well go to Terra, as some call it, T-A-R-A, and elevator trim set, terrain radar set, takeoff briefing performed. We're taking off as we taxi. I'll show you it just as something for you all to see en route. Okay, you've got the taxi up. So what we're going to do is come down here, come out G8, then down to hold point 3, take off on the runway. Once airborne, we're going to follow the Vergier 3 Golf departure. Max speed until leaving flight level 120 is 250 knots. Okay, right there on the chart. So when we take off, granted, we don't have a controller, so, you know, by all means, it's just free-for-all out of here. And let me go ahead and get a timer started over here. Clear this one. Okay. But we're going to adhere to it. I think our McDo may as well. But anyway, we're going to come out at 600 feet, bank to the right, and intercept Seville 113.7 SVL radial 2752, distance 15, which happens to be Lamar, at or above 1,500 feet. Turn, fly 177 to Jers. By the way, that is a radial. Secondly, we'll then continue to Viger and then get en route. I'll get you your speeds here once we make the turn. Seville traffic, Spanair 471 taxi 227 for departure. All right, initial climb 8,000 feet, and we've just been through all of that. All right, and again, no faster than 250 below 12,000 feet until 12,000 feet. Get the right words, folks. Those words mean a whole lot in the real world. You can look them up all over the internet. Arguments between real pilots and real air traffic control. And some of you, like me, will go, hey, that just happened here on VATSIM, too. So. All right, so I hope you all enjoy the ride out. Bear with me here. I'm just getting some screens set up so I can kind of self-moderate here. All right, there we go. All right, let's do our before takeoff so we can take off. All right, before takeoff, weather radar 2 and auto. Okay. Rudder trim set, TARA on the transponder, and we're ready to go at the line. At the line, we'll get the lights on and we'll be ready to go. One thing about yesterday's flight I'm mad about myself, I didn't go back and get a highlight reel of that takeoff. Really upsetting, because I really like to have known how much runway we really ate up in San Bernardino. We were loaded for bear, folks. Like I told y'all then, it was like reliving a flight that I watched at the airport. I was a firefighter for many years. C5 taking off, and he used every single inch of that runway. It was scary, to say the least. And I'm sure Real world, that would have been for those firefighters too, watching, is he going to get in the air or is he going into the mountains? All right, we're clear for takeoff, folks. Seville traffic, Spanair 471 departing 27. Well, I'm going to tell you this much right now. We have another long haul coming up in that series down the road, and I am not going to go that heavy. Have a different plan in mind. Okay, lights are on. We're lined up. Here we go, bringing it on, 50%. Numbers set. Flex. Okay, airspeed's alive, verified, 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate gear coming up. There's 400. $600 making the turn. I'll let auto take it from here. Da 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 da. Oh, sorry, folks. Love that song. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. If I played it on air, I would get gigged for copyright. Bugs Bunny would not like me. All right, S speed, here we go. And folks, we're on our way to Lamar. And if you heard that, like, high right down to low real quick, hear that this? That's why I also have not put sounds on this plane. I'm scared I'm going to lose effects, and I don't know the whole why it does that on my computer. And I don't know if it does it on your computers. Nobody's fessed up, so. All right, we're airborne, so let's do our after takeoff gears up. Spoilers we can disarm. Flaps are up. And we can start turning lights off. Nose light and take our turn-offs. Autopilot's on, flaps are up, we're on our way. Tenerife, here we come. Here we come, just a walking down the street, singing to what titty titty tum titty do. glad to have you aboard, folks. Got a great stream ahead going to Tenerife. We're a lot further along than we were with Flight Factor. Probably needs an update from them, and we don't know when, because 7s are the only thing on their mind. So again, hope y'all have had a great day. Here comes the Manny. Hope you have a great day, as yours is just coming to you as you just woke up. So thank you, sir. Thank you all for being a part tonight, and enjoy as we head to Tenerife. All right, we are okay. Well, we blew that 250 until 12,000. That's okay. All right, so let's get the climb going as we head south over the main part of Spain, where the plains, it never rains. And transition level, that's something we did not brief. 6,000, so we're through it. All right, so let's make our way southward. About 800 miles or so to Tenerife South. Hope you all, if you're interested, looked up the worst air disaster in aviation history. Tenerife North. I'm actually not going to worry about balancing. We're only 200 off. That's actually really not that bad. We might throw a little heat back there. And for the cockpit, maybe drop the temp a little bit. I did go the right ways, didn't I? Cold, hot, yeah. Now, one thing I did read up on, this airport, though, is known to have some wind shear issues, so who knows? Maybe we'll finally hear that go off. I don't know, though. So, here's what's happened today. Well, we tried uploading the 12-hour version of yesterday, the actual footage. YouTube said too long. Okay, so we edited it down to about 7 hours. And that was a pain in the rump still, folks. That took nearly 3.5 hours for that to finally get through and people to allow it, I guess. I don't know what would have been on it to prevent. It took a long time to get it to release, so kept saying pending, which made me think, great, they're going to say now still too long, and yet I've got 2 10-hour videos here recently put up there. Long story short, that was finally released at about 5 o'clock tonight. Well, maybe 4. Then we fired up Flight Factor. That was the original intent, was to fly the A320 from them. And we got the crash to desktop, and it was Flight Factor that seemed to be the cause. So, began working a tail swap. And we got the A321 up and going, and we are where we are. I feel like I flew another 12-hour mission, though, and this is actually the first hour of flying I think I've done today, 45. So, whew. We did have plans to fly from Dayton to Newark today as well. That is postponed right now. We will get it rescheduled in tomorrow. I'm not sure yet which flight will be postponed, but we have to postpone a flight tomorrow, or just fly the Newark flight and then figure out those 2 flights. That could be the sanest thing to do. Right after releasing my schedule, we got word of a appointment we had to do. Couldn't get it a different day, so unfortunately, my whole day that I thought I'd have, well, for a good reason, has to be, for the most part, postponed. We'll get 1 flight in, but that's about it. So, but that's fine. You know, doing this is not a problem. So it's just, oh, if I'd have just known 2 hours earlier. That's all. That's okay, though. So, since I'm unemployed, I kind of treat this like my job right now. And anytime I'm idle with it, I'm really trying to see if there is a chance I can make a go and, you know, possibly make some money at this and help support our family while I'm still looking for work. Even during the flight yesterday, I was on another computer looking for work, doing a couple of other things. So we're still doing that, but so much of me would love this to be my job, but I get it, you know, just a small-time streamer, and that may be all I ever am, but I'd like to give it my best. So a lot of questions, a lot of hesitation for monetizing at YouTube. We have the subscriber base for that. I don't have the knowledge base for that. hence the stuff going on today. Now, how you guys out there do your 12-hour plus streams live, I guess that's allowable. Again, I don't like the word I guess. I want to know. So, that's why my hesitations. We jumped in the deep end with Twitch as an affiliate. Whew. Feel like the entire time as an affiliate, my head has been struggling to stay above the water. So I really don't want to go through that with YouTube. And if maybe along the road I can pass along what I've learned to you all, I'd like that too. So, but anyway, folks, we're on our way. The YouTube channel is going strong. Commercial wise here, if if they're getting annoying, two ways around them. One, you can head over to our YouTube channel. Tomorrow sometime this video will be up. I'm gonna hold off, allow that video a chance to sink. Who knows? It may be, some people really looking forward to it. And I don't want to interfere with that with yet another release. And two, you can always subscribe. That's always an option if you want. It does cost, and the benefits are you get ad-free viewing. We're working to build up subscriber-based access to Discord areas and emotes and badging systems. So it's not a lot of money, but I get it, folks. This economy, this election coming up, who knows what lies ahead. I get it, so I don't push subscribing, but that is an option for you. So let's keep rolling, folks, and enjoy the flight. About 2 hours ahead of us. Actually, a lot less. Hang on, let me find out. Right now, we're at about an hour and a half out. So enjoy the ride. Glad you're aboard. Great stream going here finally. Only took the whole day. And I really do hope you enjoy your time here with Flying with Mike. All right, folks, welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you all have had a great day. Ah. All right, we're on our way, folks, an hour and like I said, about 30 minutes away, Tenerife South. And what do we have ahead of us? Hang on a second here. Looks like some kind of land. No, I don't see that. Oh, these are the Canary Islands. Oh, okay. All right, and folks, I would like to lift up the folks in the Tampa, well, in middle of Florida. Matter of fact, the southern half of Florida, just, you know, include them all. They are getting ravaged hard by Hurricane Milton, and they could really use prayers. There is just so much going on down there. I just hope, Father, you're watching over those that either couldn't get out, wouldn't get out, and just keep them safe, Lord, so they don't tax an already taxed emergency response system there. Folks, what I was seeing in the few minutes I watched the Weather Channel, unbelievable what was going on. And it was some interesting learning there as well, how this, I'm assuming a convention center, but I don't know for certain, how it's built literally up on stilts so the water can come under it and everything's safe above it. Now, hopefully the roof is fully really mega reinforced, but that's awesome. Father, thank you, and keep these people safe. And we pray that this ends quickly for them and the rebuild is as best and as quick as it can be. Thank you. Amen. Folks, yeah, it's just unreal. Granted, thankfully it did not come in at the height of its fury of 180 knots. Holy mackerel. There's only been a couple of other storms like that in the Gulf, and Tampa proper has not seen this since 1920-ish. So there's no one indigenous to Tampa who's seen this. Now, surrogates coming in from other areas, oh yeah, they may have seen them, but not people who are completely of Tampa. So this is a very huge and very unbelievable hitting them. With every eye wall reconstruction, folks, the storm grew. And that's what happens. The storm expands while the eye will regenerate in that new environment. And it just makes it so big coming in. I really do pray for those people. You can call them what you want, folks. That, welcome to the United States. But just realize, disasters that come your way, people will wonder, well, why didn't you get out of the way? Some of them is understandable, some not so. So I just hope the people of Tampa, Sarasota, Clearwater, all of that area where it's coming in are safe. And I didn't even know this. They took a lot of surge off Helene just about a week or two ago. And here it goes again. So, I know it's hurricane season, but it's still, folks, human lives, humans going through unheard of circumstances with little or nothing maybe they can do. So where I may complain about, oh my gosh, our internet went down, which here in town, it's one of the providers here did go down. Well, it sucks while it's down, but pales when you stack it up against some of the other stuff going on in the country, in the world. It's hard to stay focused on that if you keep yourself focused on what others are enduring. So, all right, folks, we're going to fly on. We're going down over. I doubt we'll see any coastline. If we do, that is Africa over there. And we're going to be basically kind of shadowing it all the way down to the Canary Islands and then over to Tenerife. Oh, I didn't finish my status check. Oh. There we go. All right, so let's just move on, folks, and plan for about an hour and 30 or so minutes from now. We'll be on approach to Tenerife South. Used to be called, hang on, I have that data here. Tenerife South Reina, Reina, Sofía Airport. Santa Cruz de Tenerife, Spain. Spawn Air headed their way. And unfortunately, Spawn Air has not been in business for quite a while. But when they were, they had A320s and A321s. And prior or historically, they've also had 717s and 757s. I told you folks, I try to do a little bit of research on my flights to help out in this 2 hours that we're, together on stream. So any questions or comments, prayers, concerns, hey, I'd love to see them in the chat. Join me if you want on our Discord channel. You just got the invite. I'm in the live stream area. Just let me know. We'll make sure you get in there. But folks, welcome aboard. I hope you're having a great day. And to those in Tampa, I know you can't hear my voice, but I really hope you are safe. All right, folks, we're on our way. Getting some business done behind the scenes. An hour and 20 minutes or so out of Tenerife, and I hope you all enjoy the ride. Planning runway 25 at this point. Winds are pretty calm, so that tidbit about shear, or not shear, yeah. Hang on a second. Yeah, wind shear may not present itself, thank goodness. But if you had a chance, folks, I hope you do look up that worst air disaster in history with Tenerife North. It's unbelievable, to say the least. Some of the stories I've read of this thing, of this disaster, are just downright horrifying. I mean, the incident itself is horrifying, but what was going on in people's minds in those cockpits, that's sometimes even more horrifying than the incident. So, but yeah, Tenerife was, wow. And I'm sad to say how close that has come at other places of equal magnitude that thankfully did not. By the grace of God, it did not happen. And like I said, folks, it's a major disaster when you have any kind of aircraft crash, given. It's really horrifying when it's a 747 or, God forbid, ever an A380. However, it's even more devastating when two come together 747s, or, God forbid, it ever happen at two A380s. So think about the potential there, folks. So I'm going to be right back. I want to see if I can learn anything, or if there was anything learned. So stand by. It's something medically that we're learning about through one of our granddaughters and daughter. So stand by. Be right back. Alright folks, sorry about that. That was nothing to worry about, so and not worth going into on the stream then, but I'm glad it seems like right now everything is fine. We just got to get to Tenerife. And by the way, folks, more probably to my YouTube following, but you know, Twitchers, hey, help us out. I am looking to add sounds to my ToLiss A320, A321, and 319 Neos and standards. And if you all could come in, I want you to pay very close attention to how this sounds. Then we'll get back into cockpit, look at my sound man thing in here. Not sound on the computer, maybe that's where it's at, but what the software for ToLiss says. So hang on, here it comes. I'm going to stop the music. And I want, let me make sure I've got it turned up. All right, so what you're going to hear is what sounds like a loud drop to soft, okay? Did you hear that, Jim? Trying to figure out what first causes that. Hang on a second, getting a couple things. Again, here it is. All right. All right, now that sound I like. Well, I wish was better, but we're good with, you know. It's just that high to low I don't like. And here is what the ICS shows. Okay, we'll leave it. Let's save. Maybe I just fixed it. Still doing it. Still here. What is causing that? That is one of my fears. Okay, I go in and I buy this BS sense. And I still have that. Hang on, I gotta turn that down. Bear with me. Try that real quick. Still does. So I really am at a loss as to, unless, you know what? Save these. Huh. Can't save that. So that is why I haven't opted for it. Now, the sounds we have on the A320 are inside unbelievably what I remember 2 years ago flying an A319, albeit same engine that's on the 320, to Mesa. Oh, I was just like, wow, that's good. Now, I have worked on the ramp security wise around them, and that part didn't sound the same. So, and I get it. The man behind it was an actual pilot. The chances of him actually hearing one actually start up outside probably slim to none, or he might, you know, but I get it. We're in the airplane, we're not outside. But there are some distinctive sounds some engines make as they fire up, including jet engines. So, I mean, how many of you out there know a JT9 engine in a heartbeat? Okay, you may not know it by the name of the engine. How many of you know a 727 with your eyes closed? Or a DC9? There you go. Pretty much the same engines. Slightly different variations of them, but pretty much the same sounding engines. Outside the cockpit, and there are people that have gotten that right. So I'm looking for that, but right now we'll settle on just getting some decent sounds. And would love all my ToLiss aircraft do the same thing. So anyway, any of you out there that might know what setting or what I've got set wrong, or if that's just what ToLiss does, that's possible too, folks. Let me know. And ToLiss, could you please hurry with the A350 and 320 up? Well, I don't know if you're working on the 320 with flight factor. We'd love to get a lot of things fixed on that plane if you are for real doing that. Sounds kind of wonky to me, but a lot of things sound wonky. All right, so we're going to continue on, folks. Now we're getting into the area where a lot of hurricanes find their birth, meaning they come off Africa around the Canary Islands and will move across the Atlantic. Those that make it through the Lee and Windward Islands get into that Caribbean, and that's when we start seeing, you know, the storms really blossoming. So just so you also have that in the back of your mind of where you are. Me, of course, since we have Milton pounding Tampa right now. Thankfully, even though usually the word thankfully does not go hand in hand with a Cat 3 hurricane, thankfully it's Cat 3. So that is about the only saving grace to Tampa right now. It is still going to see massive storm surges, still going to have massive wind damage from not only hurricane force winds, but the tornadoes that are just dropping like flies all over especially the eastern side of Florida right now. So just, folks, keep them in your prayers. I get it. Some people can't get out. And I remember that with Katrina. They couldn't get out. And oh, the devastation that came afterwards when that levee blew. Thankfully, that's not a huge issue in Tampa, but oh, those that can't get out, always on my heart. There's always ways out, but I get it. For some, there may not be, and I hope they were able to find shelters, a safe shelter, safe haven shelters. All right, folks, about 50 minutes, 50 minutes, and we'll be on the ground and Tenerife, hopefully. Hope you all enjoyed. Yes, we've altered time. I'm not a big fan of nighttime flying. Now, there are some benefits. Obviously, you can see your runways better at a much farther distance. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of night flying. Reason being, the only thing you'd see here is a line of lights. That's it. Some of these paint jobs these airlines did that we bring to you in stream are flat out phenomenal. But if you can't see them, why put them on the airplane? If you're going to fly at night, you might as well fly with a white bling. Or black. So that's why I kind of will set the clock. Yesterday, I truly wished I'd have set it for a more 2 o'clock takeoff. I see my mistake now because while it was 9-ish my time, that makes it 7 in Los Angeles. And that then puts it to where we would have been around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning coming into ETAD instead of when we did. So, but again, Span Air on its way. We're closing in on the Canary Islands, Tenerife to be exact. And to be honest, I have not looked at hurricane forecast charts to see if there are any storm systems about to march their way into the Atlantic. Now, not necessarily will it become a hurricane, but we're coming close to the equator. So in that equatorial rush of storms that, you know, surround us, that's where they come from. So out of Africa. And looking down here, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Am I supposed to be at 37? Did I miss something? Oh, I must have. I don't see it in the flight plan, but Philly Play Z, welcome aboard, sir. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for coming on board. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy. All right, such a great stream going here, folks. Glad to have you all aboard. Hope you enjoy as we begin. Let's see, we have about 200 miles to top a descent into our destination. And again, the week has gotten a little bit topsy-turvy here, folks. Tomorrow, the 2 flights planned, we're only going to be able to maybe do one of them, or I may do the second flight that was planned today, tomorrow, postponing those 2 to another day. Things just are the way they are, and I'm just gonna have to. Something came up after we set the schedule that we need to take care of, and so we're going to maximum of 1 stream only tomorrow. Friday we'll try to stick to the 2. We'll see. And we'll go from there. So folks, I just want to get that out so y'all know what you see in the schedule is in flux, and we will have to change. Don't really know what tomorrow, which flight I'll do. So we have another flight that we had planned after this, that obviously after a 12-hour marathon flight yesterday, I am actually still beat, but that 12-hour flight drug more into today with YouTube issues. Thankfully, it appears worked out, and but that delayed us heavily getting through those. And then the crash to desktop with flight factor almost postponed both flights today, but I decided, hey, I could probably at least get this flight in, maybe the other flight, but it's a big maybe, and that big maybe is no. So we're gonna wrap when we get on the ground, and we'll look to tomorrow. Not really sure what we're gonna put out there, but guarantee you at least 1 flight, maybe early. That's another thing. Our day is actually as such that we're gonna have to get in gear for it a lot earlier than we were expecting. So, which is again nothing set in stone. I mean, it is for me, but you know, life happens, folks, and I'm trying my best to do better at adjusting. So, hope you all enjoy, and come fly with us, folks. Flying with Mike, and we're so grateful to have you aboard. All right, let's start getting some information gathered. All right, let's bring up the charts for our arrival. All right, we'll hold the music here for a moment and bear with me here. All right, so a great program here in NavGraph charts. If you don't have it, folks, you ought to really think about it. If you are one who keeps their charts up to date, FMCs, so you're already paying maybe NavGraph for that, maybe someone else, depending what you're flying on. But if you are using NavGraph, for an extra charge, you can have worldwide coverage with up-to-date charts. Sometimes we run into an issue where the chart's up to date, but the FMCs aren't up to date because you forgot to update them. By the way, earlier in the week, we did have an update. So hopefully on top of the update that we had with X-Plane. So make sure you're up to date. Plus, VATSIM is going to be more intolerant to those who don't have up-to-date charts. So be warned. Anyway, there are a lot of great features here, folks, from weather. I can change into different type of map styles. I just kind of like this one. But for this briefing, let's get over here. Here's the METAR. It's VFR, so that's already a plus. And then here is the latest as of 9 minutes ago. Clear visibility, okay. Wind is 020 at 2. Now, technically, that would bring us in on 7. I'm going to keep us on 25. It's a little bit ridiculous to kind of switch it for just a 2 knot, if that tailwind. If you're curious what you have wind component wise, it's right here in the box you click. 2 knot from the right to left push, 1 knot tail. Okay, folks, we can handle that. You get up to about 5 to 6 to 7 knots, you might want to start thinking about coming in the other way. Now, there are airports that will really push you on the tailwind components. It's up to you, folks, whether you're up for it or not. They are not as easy as you think because you're getting pushed while you're trying to slow. It can be fun. All right, so we're coming in on the TERT2 uniform arrival TERTO. We just crossed TERTO, and we start our descent in about 150 miles, 130 miles. So we'll kind of go a little quick. Whoop, that's the SID. Come on, there's the star. So we're coming in at or above 10,000. Our top of descent is gonna be somewhere right about here, Canes, Grand Canary South, ULG, and we're gonna plan for 10,000, 11,000, 10,000 right here at Lufer. 220 knots. Now that word right there, folks, if you really want clarification what that means in ATC, spoiler alert, means the same thing everywhere else. Some pilots like to how do we want to say, creatively say, no, we fly my at. Again, YouTube has some hilarious, well, they're not hilarious, they're outright despicable, the arguments but they were recorded and then someone had the audacity to upload. Anyway, oh, Grand Canaria will be at no faster than 250. 220, and then we'll be down to 4,000. Now, the arrival wants us to fly the little racetrack here. I'm thinking about just flying down here, get us slowed up, turn for the runway. And those of you out there who have flown it, now it's escaping, it's Italy. Oh, there's a very similar approach to that airport there. And so what I'm going to do, since we don't have ATC and we don't have a lot of traffic, I'm just going to cut it off and slow down in this turn to my final approach speed. Okay, so from here at Kitty, I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce that. Minimum's 4,000. 220 is the maximum. So that means if I want to fly 140 knots from here to here to here, I can be that ridiculous. Okay, the word at is not in the vocabulary here. Okay, we're going to come up here to TS 511. No faster than 210 at 2,500 feet. Okay, see if I can get them both in here. So from 511 we descend down to 2,200 feet, join the localizer, or like I like to do is just go ahead and continue at 2,500 feet, slowing to our approach speed, flaps gear, fully established or fully configured by distance 6.0, DME 6.0 ISUR. And then we fly it in. Okay. Pretty simple approach, folks. There's the infamous beginnings of Tenerife North, where that disaster I told you occurred. Yeah. Okay. What are we looking for on METARs and our minimums allowing us in here? Right now, clear visibility, okay, I don't think we have a worry. However, we're a performance aircraft C, so we have to follow that. So 229 is our minimum vertical ground to basic clouds, broken or overcast, that we can accept. Here's the problem with that. METARs come in 200 or 300. That means 300. If the METAR says 2002 broken or overcast, has to be over 300. However, you can come in so long as you've got ATIS or something telling you you're legal, but at 229 feet, since I can set that as my decision altitude, we got to go around if we don't see runway environment. If we see it, we progress into the runway. If we don't see enough of the runway to start with, we then, those of you instrument rated know the rules. I just barely know them. I was a real private pilot, so doesn't help out much. Also for visibility, we have to have 550 miles, or 550 meters, sorry. Now, if we're not going to use the flight director, autopilot, or HUD, that goes up to 750. Here comes the Manny asking, how long has he followed? It looks like 2 months, 14 days, and 23 hours. So that's our charts, folks, for this. Now, once we get on the ground, click, thank you. My guess is we're going to probably be able to get off at Bravo 3 and then head for the terminal. And then once again, yeah, I've been tracking the storm. It should be onshore right now, the eye of it at least. And one thing about that, folks, hang on, I'm looking for, what is it, 9 Bravo? There it is. Here's where we can park, by the way. We'll take something in this area. So let me mark that. Okay, so that's the game plan, folks. Now let's get over here and made landfall in Siesta Key. Is that around Tampa? It should be. National Hurricane Center. At 8 o'clock. Update. We'll go with that. 9 o'clock Eastern. 49 minutes ago. I don't think it had come in yet. But thankfully it's a category 3, so at least wind damage wise won't be as bad. But yeah, we've been following, and my heart goes out to those that can't leave. Oh, just tears you up. Oh, Tampa, Sarasota. I'm not very familiar with that area, so yeah, Sarasota, Tampa. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable how long it's been since Tampa took a direct hit, and especially of something of this magnitude. So, but let's finish up with get our numbers in here real quick, and we'll be ready for the descent. Okay, this is as of 1:30's. Whoop, we're on takeoff. I was kind of hoping to catch up. Oh well. All right, so we're variable zeros. We'll do it this way. 020 at 2. Yeah, we got a tailwind. Temperature 22. Pressure 3006. Dry runway, anti-ice not needed. Air conditioning will be on, and we have a, well, let's just see. All right, so basically what this is saying, we land like we're supposed to, folks. About midway we should be able to exit. That's right about here. We're long or short, we may end up going down to Bravo 2, taxi back. So that's basically what that's saying. Now, if you want, you can go closer to Southwest Airlines style landings, and that lowers to where you're going to be able to make it. I'm going to go easy on the brakes, so plenty of margin at the end, so yeah, we'll be good. All right, so there we go. Last but not least, okay, we're 50 miles out, is that right? Okay, so let's head over to the next couple of phases to approach. Here's why I like using that device over there. All right, QNH. is 1018, which equals 3006. Temperature 22. Wind 020, diagonal 2. And we said, let's go 229. All right, so we're looking at an approach speed, folks, of 145 knots. We'll look at it again over here. So 100 will come in at about 145. That way when we flare, we'll be at, you know, over the threshold and hopefully nail it right around 136 for our landing speed. Roll off, hopefully right onto Bravo 3, I believe we said it was, to the gates. Okay, one other thing we can do is go here, click here, access wind data, request it, updates. Okay. Now, let me should point out a couple things. This set of line select keys allow you to set airways, holds, and what have you. This side, constraints for speed, altitude, assessing wind, and that. So just so you know, just make sure you click on a fix and not one of these delineators telling you, hey, top of descent or limit your speed. Okay? Top of descent showing. All right, back to the Hurricane. Sorry. Fly the plane first, then we can talk. ATIS, METAR, McDo, set this. I'm just making sure I got everything cool. All right. Going back to this thing, folks, it is unbelievable what's hitting Tampa area right now. My heart goes out to those unable to leave. It's sometimes unthinkable that there are people that can't leave, but it is. Well, I've actually been in Tampa a couple times with the truck, but most of my dealings with Tampa were closer to I-75. Not over in, when my luck, watch you say, oh, I-75 runs right through it. And it's also 20, 35 years old that I've been there. So it's been a long time since I've been in the Tampa area. From what I understand, a beautiful, beautiful city. But mine was dashing down I-75, trying to pick a load up or deliver a load. Head out to these weird named cities for orange juice or what have you, juice-wise, that didn't need a refrigerated truck. But I really do feel cute meme Duluth Fly put up of Hurricane Milton, something about Hurricane Milton coming to town. What are you going to do next? Go to Disneyland or Disney World. Oh, I get the humor, but oh man. Oh man. So, so I really do hope those that chose to stay versus those that had no choice. All of them are safe. More importantly, safe from the danger today, but the dangers that lie ahead in the cleanup starting late tonight into the end of the year. It's gonna take a long time, folks. I just pray for their safety tonight. And the safety of any rescuers that may have to go out in it. All right, we're going to go ahead, begin the descent. We'll just start it managed, and basically how you do this in X-plane. I know you have something very similar to this over on that other one. Take your mouse, hover over, you're looking for one dot between those two arrows. Down here, you manage the vertical speed. All right, so now the avionics are doing the calculating to 10,000 feet per the constraints the star has if properly programmed. Okay, Canis is fine. And there we got, there's the one constraint right there. Red stars are constraints, folks. So 250, flight level 18, that's just what the computer projects will be at as we descend. Now, Boeing heads. You don't see your familiarity here with your vertical indication to your glide to your path. That's because Airbus puts it over here, sort of kind of like a glide slope, just like yours is, but just over on the PFD. Okay, now we'll have a hockey stick show up. Matter of fact, let me see if I can kind of show. Nope, we're not going to. This green dot is that optimal descent path. Okay, the computer has to make the constraint here plus the 11,000 or 10 to 11,220 here at Lufer. How do we know we're on the proper glide is when it's in between the box here. I'll blow it up a little bit for you. In between the little box. Right now we're close enough for my books. We're right on top of this. So, and we're coming down at 2,500 feet a minute. So we're doing good. There's a hockey stick. So that's where the prediction is to hit the 11 to 10,000. Okay, sorry for bouncing around, folks. Obviously, we're going to aviate before we talk hurricane. Yeah, it's just, my thoughts and prayers just go out for those people. I believe I may have a cousin that still lives in Tampa or that region, and I pray for her safety. And her family. But I could be wrong. I have only seen her once since high school. So that goes back quite a ways, folks. Kind of a short aside from this, me and my wife went down to visit my daughter in Aiken a few years ago. I don't know if y'all remember Hurricane Matthew. That came up the east side of Florida. It was pretty strong when it went up along Jacksonville, I'm trying to think, a little south, Cape Canaveral, maybe Melbourne, in that area. Kicked up along the coast, never really came in, but it did hit, I forget what, and it began to weaken. As it turned to head out to sea, it just kind of followed the coast. And we also had plans when we visited my daughter to go down and see a place I just loved as a kid, Charleston, South Carolina. And the hurricane had come through the day before as a category 1. I think it was something like category 4 or 3 down in Florida. And as it came up, it really weakened. It may have actually gotten on shore. I don't remember the whole story of Hurricane Matthew. But like I said, it was a category 1. And I mean, it did some damage. Not what you're gonna see in Tampa. We're talking exponentially different. But it was unbelievable, to say the least. But the big thing out of that hurricane was the evacuations. Now, if you're not familiar with South Carolina, I get it. Aiken is right across the river from Augusta, Georgia. Sports buffs may have already perked up and know what Augusta, Georgia is. It's where the Masters is played if you're into golf. So it's literally right across the state line. There's a river between the two. There were so many evacuees from Charleston there. Not only in the hotels, which thankfully we had reservations, but they had shelters in Aiken to accommodate these people, which I thought was flat out awesome. From Columbia, South, if I understood it right, it was like Columbia, South Carolina, I-95 basically north is where everyone from the coastline came up to escape. And it was unbelievable from what I heard. Now, we went down ways where we weren't where all the traffic was, unbeknownst to us. And oh my gosh, the damage a category 1 hurricane did was unbelievable. I am really not looking forward to watching any images tomorrow. And the death toll, injury tolls, that part either. So again, my heart, my prayers go out to you all in the Florida, folks. This is affecting from the tip of Florida all the way up towards Jacksonville, possibly where Helene went in just a couple weeks ago. And oddly enough, Helene affected Tampa Bay pretty bad. So what a story coming out of this hurricane. Hurricanes, because you've got, holy mackerel, so much going on. All right, we're going to go ahead, click us into slow down to make 250. Well, we're not going to be anywhere near it. All right, here we go. Speed brakes. So yeah, is either has or about to make landfall. And man, that storm surge, that's the part that really kills people. They're not expecting what 16 feet of water looks like coming at them. The only kind of a person that would know these things are those that live through tsunamis. In essence, storm surge is a lot like one. is just this wall of water just being pushed inland, and just very devastating, folks. Well, we made 250, compliments of spoilers. There's the Grand Canary South, I think it said. So, all right, let's dial down. Let's get ready for approach. Okay, so next up is Lufer. That is a 220 speed limit. So, and look at this terrain. Let's see how the terrain radar is reading. Picking it up pretty good. Wow, this big island. Holy mackerel. Well, we talked about Tenerife and the disaster that occurred there 30, 40, 50 years ago. Well, right now, socked in. Visibility 500. I'm sorry. Overcast 500. Much like you see here, folks. Wow. Like I said, what a devastating accident there. Okay. We're at 15,000 feet. Seatbelts on. Okay, what's the checklist got for us? Okay, vertical constraints, auto brake. We're going low. Oh, we said medium or low? Low. Set. Briefing completed. Descent. We're monitoring. When we pass 10,000 feet, the lights will come on. But again, thanks for being a part. Thanks for the great stream. And sorry it was so delayed. So many little hiccups today. And, you know, that's just unfortunately how life goes. It's how we deal with them. And, you know, tomorrow's another day, folks. God willing. All right, how we doing? Here we come to 10,000. All right, and that is our minimum restraint here, 10,000. So, and we'll be slowing now to 220. And I know a lot of people out there, folks, are really looking forward to the next major update to X-Plane 12, the addition where the radars really begin to come alive. That I really can't wait for. Hang on here. Well, you know what? We'll just go ahead. I'm thinking about we might just go direct. We'll find out when we get up here. We're still kind of high. All right, folks, hope you're ready for the approach. Transition. Of course, it's going to say that it always does. By ATC. About 6,000. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, folks, predictions, if you want to put them in. Just like that. The exclamation mark, the word predict, a space, and a negative number. Okay, let's arm up the spoilers. Runway in sight. Okay, 141. And Tenerife South, Spanair 471, inbound 6 miles, ILS runway 25. Looks like someone's landing on the other way. All right, flaps are full. All right, I'm gonna take over. And Tenerife South, Spanair 471, approximately 3 mile final for 25. stable landing.
Hundred above.
Landing.
Minimum.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard.
10.
Drive.
All right, well, we'll take a look at that. I was a little harder than I wanted. Yikes. For a second there, I was about to do what we did into Tonkatine a couple days ago, where we shot off on the access road. That was great. Like, this don't look right. And Tenerife South, span air 471's off Bravo 2 to the ramp. Let's just turn here and taxi down. See what Condor's doing down here. And let's get our final SC. Spoilers, landing lights, nose lights, FDs, and all can be turned off. We can turn these off. Get down here. we're in the blocks. We just verify park and brake is indeed turned on. It is. Right, final rundown here. Okay, chrono. We can stop now. Radars are off. PWS, wing lights, APU started. TCAS. Can now go to standby. And turn off lights. APU bleed on. All right, let's shut them down. Beacon light cabin door, we'll get the door unlocked now. Beacon. And fuel pumps off. Welcome to Tenerife, folks. Okay, main doors open. We are unloading, folks. Take a look outside. All right, I hope you all enjoyed. Great flight from Seville. Everything's good to go here, folks. Close that out. Unload and clear. All right, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and remove that overlay as well. So let's bring in, first off, let me see what the airline MACAIR got us at. There must have been a bounce. That's all I can say. 38 feet a minute. Oh, geez. We'll take it though. All right. Let me just make sure they got it too. And hang on a second, folks. One more step to do with them. All right, there we go. Gotta put that actually in the Discord there, so we actually get credit put on our profiles for the destination of the month. All right, let's bring in Sim Toolkit now. One other thing I gotta watch. Okay, 292 by Elevatech. Cool. Alright, unfortunately, Sim Toolkit's being the mean one of the day. So let's pull it in here. All right, first off, we'll get the basics. 2-hour, 25-minute flight, 779 miles. As you can read, just about 6,300 kilograms of fuel. 1.3 Gs at 456. We landed at our approach speed, not our landing speed. So we are a little fast. However, got a little bit of a, not sure if that's EMAS or what, stopway or what. Anyway, you land here at the threshold line forward, and we landed 22, we'll call it, no, 2,120 feet down the runway. 8 feet off the center line, so folks, those numbers are great. Over here, our pitch 405, again, long tube aircraft, that's not bad. 141, 456 feet a minute. Well, you know, can't have everything. So, anyway, it looks good. Let's see if we have anyone. I know I was in the running for it. Looks like flying with Mike. Albeit almost 300 feet per minute off, but is the winner. Who do we have off to our side here? Ooh, flew out of LPMA. Ooh, is that La Palma? Anyway, right up here, well, you can't see this one, never mind. Sorry, folks. But fun flight nonetheless. All right. I'm gonna go ahead, roll this back, see what we can do. Oh, forgot to disconnect. My bad. And that's a good starting point. All right. All right, let me get outside here. And we'll lower the volume. Watch it. A little forceful, but hey, not too bad. Actually, from here it didn't look too bad. one more time and see what the tower shows us. Folks, that looked really good. And of course, the tower will always look good. Welcome to Tenerife. I really hope you enjoyed. We finally got the flight in, folks, after a lot of problems today. Hope you all enjoyed. Been a blast. Thank you, Philly Play Z, for the follow. And again, Livanba, thank you for following as well. Now, that one occurred yesterday, but I think outside the stream. So, folks, thank you all for who came in. Great stream today. Great time, great friends. And hope you all have a blessed night. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow. We're probably going to be online a bit early. Got a lot going on. But I want you to remember something. Today's verse. If the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead lives within you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies because his spirit lives in you. Keep that, folks, in mind as you go through your days. I know life can be full of trials and struggles, but God is there. He is always there with you, just there for the asking. All you got to do is ask. Keep the faith, folks. Keep the faith. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. I hope you all have a great, great night. And look forward to seeing y'all here. Not all of you. I get some of you are working at this hour. So I hope to see you all then. And God bless you. Oh, I did something wrong. There we go. Oh. Why is it looking weird? Probably that guy behind the console can't drive the camera. So y'all have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. And hopefully we'll see you with God's grace. Those of you in Tampa, be safe. Look forward. Hope to hear from you tomorrow. And hope all is well. God bless. Have a great night.